Okay, well, just let me know when the other person arrives and we'll start.
We don't have Tony. Okay, I did send him a note though, but he hasn't responded.
Who are the folks with remote access?
Director Luna.
Luna, and he's with the Hilton Scottsdale. Okay, and then who's with the Kern County? I forget.
Director Marty Millibar.
Marty Millibar. Okay, I just wanted to.
Sir, we don't have him yet, but Director Estromera will actually be calling in from a private location under 2449.
Okay,
And Director Luna has joined.
Good afternoon, everyone.
great. Hi, how you doing, Miguel?
President Palmer, all teleconference locations are here, so we can move forward whenever you're ready.
Okay, great. Good afternoon. Shall I start? Okay, good afternoon. This is the regular meeting of the Delta Conveyance Design and Construction Authority Board of Directors. It is Thursday, May 18th, 2023, and it is 1:30. And we have, just for everybody's information, we have a couple of teleconference locations, one in Kern County Water Boardroom with Marty Millibar, and then at the Hilton Scottsdale Resort with Miguel Luna, and then Director Estromera is from a private location under 2449, so that we have everybody here. And so would you please join the meeting? We have a virtual meeting and everybody else is here in the room. So call to order. Could we please have a roll call?
Of course. Good afternoon, President Palmer. President Palmer.
Oh, yes, sorry. At our other board meeting, I'm always the last one to be called.
Director Millibar.
Yes.
Director Martin. Director Luna.
That would be me. Yeah.
I'm present.
Director Stamera. Director Chang.
Present.
Director Anaptawi.
Present.
And we do have in the room alternate director Dan Fleury. Thank you. And he is here representing Director Gary Martin. And so I'd also like to acknowledge that at Kern County, we have alternate director Royce Fast. And I do see that we have I thought I saw alternate director Weed on here. Am I missing him? Okay. All right. If I missed anyone, I'll make sure to look and we can acknowledge you at the end of the meeting. Thank you. We have a quorum, President Palmer.
Great, so we have a quorum. So will you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Now, this is the time for public comment. Members of the public may address the authority on matters that are within the authority's jurisdiction, but not on the agenda at this time. Speakers are generally limited to 3 minutes each. However, the chair, that's me, may further limit this time when reasonable based on the circumstances. Persons wishing to speak may do so remotely through the electronic meeting link by scanning the QR code or teleconference number when recognized by the chair. Do we have any public comment by Zoom, virtual public comment?
President Palmer, I have not received any requests for public comment.
Public comment here in the room? No?
No comments.
Okay, great. Then let's continue. Now we're going to go into closed session. And so at this point, the meeting will be kind of put on hold for a little bit, and then we're going to take off and go into closed session, and we'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, I just. This information, get. Use it. I'm thinking about trying to promote it. The people meeting now, which is the best thing that ever happened, instead of meeting, before it, and just take the people to jump apart.
Claudia, is this only board only closed session?
That's correct, Katano.
And do you have also the approximate time will be back at 2 p.m.?
That is correct.
Okay, so Bernadette is gonna sit in for me. We do not have a report today.
Yep.
So if anything comes up, she will take note. So I will
Perfect.
probably be signing off. So thank you so much.
Okay, thanks so much.
Bernadette, you're there? Yeah,
I
she's
do
there.
see
I'm
Bernadette.
here, I'm
Yeah.
here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay,
I'm
thank
going-
you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Whenever you're ready to resume the regular session.
Okay, are all of our Zoom folks back?
So it appears that we may be waiting for Director Estremera. But I think Josh would like to make an announcement.
Yeah, just for the record, Director Estremera will be participating from a private meeting location today for just cause due to illness. Thank you.
We're done. So that's good. Okay, so again, we're starting again. We do have some members who have been, who are here remotely. And then we have the rest of us here. We've already done all the other thing. We're out of closed session. So we have nothing to report out of closed session. So let us begin.
President Palmer, I do want to take a moment and acknowledge that we have alternate Director Weed who has joined. And also alternate Director Dennis Lamoureux.
Are they here or are they?
They're
remote?
online.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fine, thank you very much. Okay, great. So welcome to everybody who's here. Then let's get on to item number 6, which is approval of the minutes for April 20th, 2023. It was regular meeting minutes. And does anybody have any changes or things they want to put on there? No? And how about, do we have a motion to approve?
But
Okay, so we have a motion and do we have a second?
Jenkins second.
Okay, great. So second, and so let us bring it to a vote.
Gladly. President Palmer,
Yes.
Director Millibar,
Yes.
alternate Director Fleury,
I will abstain.
you, Director Luna,
Yes.
Director Estremera. I don't think he's on yet. Director Chang
Aye.
and Director Anaptawi.
Yes.
Great, so we've approved the minutes. Now let's get on to item number 7, which is discussion items, starting with monthly report, fiscal year, et cetera. So let's begin.
President Palmer, okay, great. Thanks, Claudia. If we could go first to section 1, please. So in terms of work activities performed in April of 2023, I'll just summarize a couple of key items here. On the engineering side, we continue our primary support to DWR, Delta Conveyance Office, for all the permitting efforts. This includes any responses to requests for clarification or additional information, as well as participating in the review of and development of responses to public comments during the review of the draft environmental impact report. Regarding the fieldwork activities, we do have fieldwork that is active right now. There's a spring investigation program ongoing, and then planning activities for a summer and fall program. These are investigations performed to support DWR's evaluation of alternatives, as well as developing a better understanding of conditions Delta-wide, subsurface conditions Delta-wide. So that all the planning associated with executing that work now and then planning for the future programs is also ongoing. So Claudia, let's, and I'll just say the look ahead will be very similar to that. So I was going to skip now to the budget. So if we could skip Claudia to section 3, budget summary. So we have an approved budget for the current fiscal year of 31.16 million. We're now forecasting an estimate at completion of about 27.5 million. So we're starting to show an underrun of about 3.6 million. I do estimate though, as we get closer to the end of the year, we start to really refine and finalize things. This underrun is going to be closer to 4 million. So very happy with the performance this year financially. There's nothing that we really should have been doing that we were not able to do, but I think as we've talked before, one item in particular that we just decided to defer and delay is the project definition reports, which will lead to more sort of focused activities around specific features. And those we really haven't started this year, and they are reflected, you know, that's part of the effort that we're coming in under on. So next, Claudia, if we could just go to the plot, the cash flow budget plot under section 3. So this is just a visual of the same point, so we don't need to belabor it. Sorry. Yeah, just hang on one sec. Here we go. The only point that I wanted to make is you can see in March of 23, we had an actual in gold that matched very closely to the planned monthly expenditure. I do expect that for the rest of the year, April, May, and June, we're probably going to have a similar pattern of actuals being pretty close to planned, and that's in part because of the ongoing field work that we've started now. But you can see the underruns that were created earlier in the year are the big separations between actuals and planned. And I don't envision that we will start chipping into or exceeding the planned budget. So we'll continue to add to the underrun as we work our way through the year is what I anticipate. And then lastly, in terms of our fiscal year calendar or schedule, section 5, the overall program schedule, you'll see the project definition reports have sort of frozen at a very early level of development. We started contemplating what those would look like in terms of a format and template, but have then held all activities while we continue to support the evaluation of the project through the EIR and the CEQA process, and we'll still just wait pending DWR's decisions on the project. All other activities are continuing along as planned. So President Palmer, that completes my summary of the monthly report.
From the board. Either here or anybody, any of the comments from the board that are on virtual? No? Okay, then how about comments from public comment?
We have not received any public comment requests, President Palmer.
On to the item B, which is the draft fiscal year 23-24 budget.
President Palmer, I will start. There is a board memo included in the board packet. Thank you, Claudia, for pulling that up. So this is our proposed budget. Just as a reminder, we'll be coming back in June for adoption of this budget. But this is just to talk about and have the initial discussions around the proposed budget. So the planned technical work is, as I've mentioned, in terms of our current work, is to continue supporting DWR in the permit preparation activities, applications, documents associated with all of the permitting activities, continued execution of the geotechnical program, as I described in the monthly report. Also looking at a range of different potential engineering concepts, procurements, contracting strategies. These are all things sort of focused on future design phases and will be considerations and strategies that we'll take into those future phases. And then also thinking about the organizational development of the DCA. What are the policies and procedures and all of the sort of programmatic side of the organization that we need in place as we start to contemplate a transition into the next phase. So we've also been chipping away at that and we'll continue to work on that in parallel. So the overall proposed budget for the fiscal year is 39.9 million. There is an unallocated reserve of 2 million identified in the budget. And yeah, I think we can go ahead, Claudia, and the next slide is just a scheduled depiction of the same information, highlighting the key tasks that we're working on currently. I don't need to repeat those. I don't think. I think they're consistent with the summary provided on the first page of the memo. Next slide, please. So this is our summary of the proposed FY 23-24 budget, $39,896,139. We've got a program management office total of 16.6 million, and then a program initiation of 23.3 million. All of our program management office activities are listed there. You can see them in general terms. The engineering and fieldwork activity is consolidated within the program initiation element of our work breakdown structure. Next slide, please. Included also in the packet is a more detailed breakdown of the proposed amounts associated with the various tasks within each of those. So it's a blown up version of the summary that you saw on the previous slide, but the totals obviously totals to 39.89, as indicated on the summary slide before. So President Palmer, that is my summary. We'll have a more detailed presentation on the budget in June when the board considers adoption, but would welcome any questions at this time.
Board. No, nobody on Zoom? Okay, then do we have public comment?
President Palmer, we do not have any requests at this time.
Think, let's get to item number C, adopt resolution approving the Fifth Amendment to the Baker-Tilly.
President Palmer, so the DCA contracts with Baker-Tilly for executive director services. And the action item before you would be to modify that agreement. Those amendments really fall into three categories. The first is an extension of the term. So the term is currently set to expire in March of 24. This presents an issue as we're looking for budgeting next year because we wouldn't be able to issue a task order for the full fiscal year. So the proposed amendment would push that out to June 30 of 2029. We have a couple of other action items which have similar changes there, with the idea being that rather than having different expiration dates, which aren't consistent with the fiscal year, to just have one consistent end date at the end of that fiscal year in 2029. Second, there's a couple of administrative changes. One would be to update the agreement administrator to Nina Hawk for Metropolitan, as well as to clean up some of the insurance language consistent with other agreements. And then the last proposed amendment is a compensation adjustment, which is detailed in the staff report and in the amendment. And there are clean and red line versions of the amendment in the packet. I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Board. None at all? Okay, how about questions from the public?
Not received any requests, President Palmer.
Okay, so we have got just one resolution on there. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Okay, thank you, Tony.
Second.
Okay, so Tony and Adnan, there we go. Okay, so let us bring it to a vote then.
President Palmer? Director Millibar?
Yes.
Alternate Director Fleury?
Yes.
Director Luna?
Yes.
Director Stromera?
Aye.
Director Chang?
Aye.
And Director Anaptawi?
Yes.
Excellent, thank you.
Let's move on to item D, and that's adopt resolution approving the Fifth Amendment to the Jacobs Engineering Group Agreement for Engineering Design Manager Services.
Thank you. This is the second action item before you this afternoon. This would be an amendment to the Jacobs agreement for the EDM team. Similar to what we just talked about for Baker-Tilly, the Jacobs agreement is set to expire in January of 2024. So the big change here is to extend the term for another 5 years to June 30, 2029 for the reasons we just discussed. There also is some cleanup language related to their hourly rate, which is non-substantive. There's a clean version of the amendment in your packet. There's not a red line given the limited nature of the edits, but happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Oh, you can't hear me? Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions from the board on this one? No, and anybody online? Nope. Okay, do we have any public comment?
President Palmer, we don't have any requests.
Okay, then do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move, Miguel.
Okay, Miguel, second?
Second.
First, a second and approval. So let us bring it to a vote.
President Palmer,
Yes.
Director Millibar,
Yes.
alternate Director Fleury,
Aye.
Director Luna,
Yes.
Director Sturmera,
Aye.
Director Chang,
Aye.
and Director Anaptawi. All right, thank you.
Better when everything is sort of like on the same schedule. Okay, then let's move on to item E. That's the adopt the resolution approving the third amendment to the Parsons Transportation Group, Inc. Agreement for Program Management and Associated Design and Construction Program Management Support Services. So go ahead.
So this item would make the effectively the same edits to the Jacobs agreement to the Parsons agreement. That, of course, that agreement covers program management services. But just for the record, their contract currently is set to expire in April of 2024. So this proposed amendment would push that out to June 30, 2029, as well as to make the same or a substantially similar cleanup language to their hourly rate language. And again, a clean version in the packet, no red line given the limited nature of the changes. But happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Have any comments or questions from the board? No, okay. How about anybody online? No? Then how about, do we have any public comment on this?
President Palmer, we have not received any requests.
Okay, great. Then let's bring it to a vote. Oh, we have
A motion.
we need a motion. Sorry, so many motions.
Motion.
Motion it.
Motion.
Go. Thanks, Tony. Who next?
Second.
Okay, great. All right, we've got first and a second. Now let us bring it to a vote. Guys ought to keep me in track all the time.
President Palmer,
Yes.
Director Millibar,
Yes.
alternate Director Fleury,
Aye.
Director Luna,
Yes.
Director Sturmera,
Aye.
Director Chang,
Aye.
and Director Anaptawi.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
Great, okay. So that brings us to item number 8, staff reports and announcements. So take it away, staff.
Thanks, President Palmer. So the the big things for us this month were the action items that were already on the agenda, and we covered those. So I'm happy to answer any questions based on the written report in the packet. Thank you.
Public comment?
No public comments.
Okay, thank you very much for that report. Then how about DWR managers report?
Thank you, President Palmer. We don't have a lot of updates since last month's report. We're continuing to work on responding to comments for the environmental impact report, and we are planning to have a final complete at the end of this calendar year. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Questions or comments?
Where are you in the scale of comments? How many more do you have to
I
do?
have a lot more.
Yes.
So overall, we have about 7,500 individual comments. And I'd say we're somewhere around half responded to. So we're getting there.
It went up, right? Wasn't it 6,000? Did it go up another
I-
1,500? Or?
The 7,500 includes both substantive and general comments.
Got it.
And so we are, yes, so it's about 5,000 technical substantive comments.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Good luck. Yes. Okay, anything else for reporting? Does anybody have any public comment on this? Here? No.
Public comments, President Palmer, for any of the items on the agenda today so far.
Okay, great. Okay, and then do we have any verbal reports? Actually, we'll take, this is under staff reports and announcements, but if we have any verbal reports from directors as well, we can do that. No, you guys didn't do anything this month? There was the aqua thing and you guys did an amazing job at the aqua presentation, which was associate, for those of you who don't know, it's the Association of California Water Agencies. It was down in Monterey. And they did a wonderful program there. And yeah, so then if there's nothing else, do we have any future agenda items? Anybody for a future agenda item? No? Then ladies and gentlemen, I have the power vested in this hammer. It's a gavel, okay? We're adjourned.
Have a good rest of the day, everybody.
You too. So
Thank
good to see you.
Thank you.
Next time, maybe we'll
Thanks for
see you guys in
everybody.
person.
Bye, Mia.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Everybody be well.